Yeah.
So you mentioned that you've been in recovery for 16 years. Do you mind sharing a little bit about your story?
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, I wrote a book, so I'm an open book.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I started using drugs when I was 12 years old, and I was really just smoking marijuana and doing some acid and just kind of drinking just to fit in. I never really liked myself as a child. I was raised in an environment that wasn't really cohesive for children, some of the time. So I just started using at a very young age, and then after like the partying like went down, I found other people that were doing heroin. So I started using heroin when I was 17, and that's like really when I realized I was in love with it. I fell in love with it. I remember on my mom's front porch the first time I used it, even though it was forever ago, but I remember that first day. So heroin and opiates take over your opiate receptors in your brain. And I remember that day, like I fell in love with it that day, and I didn't get sick or anything in the beginning. So I overdosed a few months later after that and got brought back to life with a medication called Narcan naloxone. It's an opiate reversal drug. And then that's when my parents found out I was on drugs because I was 17 and I was in the ER, so they have to call your parents. And then for 9 more years, I used heroin and other opiates, but specifically heroin. I tried every form of treatment there was back then. I did Jesus, 12 step. I had these implants to block it. And then through that period of time, those 9 years, I got pregnant with my daughter, and I had my daughter when I was 21 years old.
Hmm.
And she was substance exposed. I used heroin my whole pregnancy. So she was
Wow.
born, with drugs in her system. And yeah, so it was a lifestyle that some people they just cannot control. I got full blown addicted to heroin and other opiates, so it wasn't just like recreational at first, like the first I can't even tell year maybe, but then you start getting dope sick and it attacks your central nervous system. So I was doing everything I could every single day, robbing, stealing, name like honesty. I lied every day of my life to get, $5. When you're dope sick, you don't care about anyone around you as long as we call it getting well. So just kind of being normal. Um, and it was a disaster. It was a horrible life for a very long time until I found McShin Foundation.